If you've been following the FNAF community, the final trailer for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie has just been released. This trailer gives us a fantastic glimpse into the toy and withered animatronics. In this video, I'll be building all the toy animatronics, aiming to keep the minifigure scaled while including as much detail as possible. I will also be featuring the ghost children and the puppet, so be sure to stick around. We are starting with the first three toy animatronics: Toy Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. Since I've already built the FNAF 1 animatronics in minifigure scale, I'll also use them as a base for the new design. First, let's focus on Toy Freddy. I began by selecting a colour that closely resembles the one in the game and in the movie. After some trial and error, I settled on dark orange. I started from the bottom and worked my way up. I made some adjustments to the legs by building them upside down and incorporating some new pieces from 2025, including clip pieces with a stud on the bottom. When I got to the torso, I struggled to create a versatile design that was easy to build. I went through numerous revisions trying different brackets and techniques, but nothing seemed to work out. So I decided to move on to the head. The design ended up being somewhat rough and open for debate, so I left it for the day and returned to it the next day with a fresh perspective. Before I could hit the record button, I made some progress on him, and at this stage he was looking good. I used an inverted slope piece, but unfortunately I had to abandon the bow tie because it was not feasible at this size. If you think you can create a better version, I would love to see your iterations of this design. This is where I ended up after some work in the morning. Keep in mind this is not the final design, as you'll see me in the video go back and make further tweaks. Moving on to what I think is one of the coolest animatronics, Toy Bonnie. Bonnie has always been one of my favourite animatronics because of the eerie character design. He's just so cool. As before, I copied the model and got to work. A lot quicker this time, I decided on the colour medium azure for Bonnie, which matches perfectly to the game. Most features stayed the same, but I just changed the colour. I made the decision early on to make the main features of Bonnie, which are supposed to be white, light grey instead. This is to ensure that other features like the eyes and teeth would stand out and not blend in, preventing him from being mistaken for something else. This aligns with the design I developed. I also added bigger teeth to make the differentiation between the two a lot easier. While building the face for Toy Bonnie, I discovered a better and easier way of creating the rosy cheeks. This design ended up being much better than I originally thought, so I updated Toy Freddy to match the new design. There was also a small update to the eyes as well. Finally, I focused on the ears. Originally, I was trying to think of a cool, unique way of creating them, but I ultimately reverted back to my original design from the first game. Once again, I copied the design and got to work. I initially considered using yellow for Toy Chica, but then I thought it would be cooler to use a different shade, so I opted for bright light orange instead. I didn't make any changes to the torso since there was nothing wrong with it and I had no reason to alter it. Chica's head turned out to be a bit different, but I still applied the same techniques when necessary, ensuring to add her beak and the tufts of feathers on the top of her head. One thing I forgot to create was a version with her without her beak. I'll make sure to update you guys in the coming days with a community post, but at this point, Toy Chica is finished. Here are the three main toy animatronics, each with moving arms, legs, and heads. I really tried my best to make these as accurate as possible at this scale, hopefully living up to the previous designs. I also added their appropriate objects for an extra touch. Somehow, this was the most challenging animatronic to build, Balloon Boy. I don't know how or why, but I spent a total of 2 hours trying to figure out how to build him. I won't bore you for too long, but this process came together really slowly. Then I began working on the body. I went through a couple revisions, but I was really quite pleased with the final result. The arms are relatively simple, but I'm still really pleased with them. Next, I started working on Balloon Boy's head. I attempted to fit the mouth design, but it didn't work out. So I scrapped that idea and did the best with the scale I was working at. I'm very happy I was able to replicate the red spinning hat he has on his head out of LEGO, using a red boat propeller piece. You can tilt his arms and head, and the coolest feature is the propeller on his head, but I'm still a bit disappointed that I wasn't able to fit in his smile. Now finally something a bit different, an animatronic that is a bit random and all over the place. Mangle. For this animatronic, I started with the head, which was honestly very refreshing, and the head design was quite different from the others, so I had a lot of fun creating it. Originally the head was going to be much bigger, but I ended up shortening it by 1 stud. Another decision I made early on in the creation process was to use lavender instead of pink. This was mainly because the piece I was using for the nose only came in lavender, and it was the closest colour available. Once I'd finished the head, I wasn't satisfied with it, again, so I ended up making it even smaller, and this is the design I ultimately settled on. Honestly, the body of Mangle is just a collection of ball joints, nothing particularly that special. The endo head is definitely pretty cool as well, and I can't wait to create a full endo version in the future. Also, I would love to see how you would approach it, so if you do make one, please tag me. The feet were very quick and easy to make, as I replicated the design from my LEGO Big Top. The ankle really stands out with a bunch of moving joints that can all be articulated, and I'm really proud of how the head turned out as well. Now let's talk about the puppet, which is the main reason you clicked on this video. The base of the puppet is quite similar to the regular animatronics, but just stretched and elongated. The legs are straightforward to construct, effectively capturing the look of the character in game. I used a variation of black and white studs to achieve this look, and I also incorporated bars through the legs for added support. The body consists of two main snot pieces connected with the bar, making it sturdier and preventing it from falling apart. For the arms, I used the same technique as the legs but added some variations, such as fingers that I made from the same piece that connects the torso to the legs on the other LEGO animatronics. The connection point to the arms is inspired by the same design as Balloon Boy. Now on to the most challenging part I've ever probably built on this channel, the head of the puppet. This was way more difficult than Balloon Boy. I initially tried a sideways building technique, but it turned out to be overly complicated. I experimented with different designs that looked good but ended up being way too large. After some more adjustments, I finally landed on a workable design. I know some of the pieces on the head are not attached to anything, but I'll figure that out in the coming weeks. Also, I built the ghost child off camera and it turned out amazing as well. Lastly, the puppet looks fantastic and I'm so excited of how it turned out. There is movement in the arms and legs, and the fingers and head are posable as well. Even though it's not complete just yet, it should be done in a couple more days. Overall, an amazing model. Lastly, here's a final look at all the animatronics together. They look amazing and I'm really proud of what I was able to create. Overall, I would still say Toy Bonnie is my favourite, but I would love to hear what your favourite is too. If you like any of the models shown in this video, click the Rebrickable link in the description below to download the instructions for free. If this video felt a little short, why not check out this video where I build Big Top from FNAF Secret of the Mimic, or this video where I create the full Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria out of LEGO. All the best, and I'll see you next time.